This box of ice cream is calling me. I don't know what to do. I want to eat it, but I can't. I have to focus on my work. Okay, let's do the work. I don't know what happened to my laptop today. It is not working. I believe it is tired and it wants some rest. It's not working at all. Okay, laptop, rest. We'll meet tomorrow, okay? You must be wondering what I was doing. Well, we'll try to figure out by watching the video, and there is a task for students, parents and teachers at the end of the video. So do watch the video till the end, and without any further ado, let's get started. So today we are gonna talk about figure of speech, and this is part 3 figure of speech. Part 1 figure of speech and part 2 figure of speech is already uploaded on this channel. I have shared the link of those 2 figure of speech in the description box as well as in the I button. You can go there and you can check out those videos. So moving on towards today's topic, and this is all about personification. We are going to talk about personification, right? Now moving on towards the personification, I just want to ask you few questions. Now tell me children, I was saying that my laptop is tired, right? Can laptop be tired? Is it true? Is it a human being? You will say no, right? Your answer will be no, because laptop is not a human being. How it can be tired? So why I was saying that my laptop is tired and it needs some rest, right? So your question must be there, that why I was saying this. Well, this is related to personification. I will tell you how. Now let's see the other thing. I also talk about that my ice cream is calling me. Now tell me students, that can ice cream speak? How can the ice cream call? Right? It is not a human being. So why I was treating this ice cream box as a human being? So this is related to personification. Now when we treat some non-living thing or animal as a human being, we call it as personification. When we use some kind of phrase in our writing, in our story or in our poems, we call that phrase a personification example, right? Now if you look at the first example, I was saying that my laptop is tired. Why did I say this? Now to explain any kind of concepts or idea, we use personification so that the listener can understand the entire situation in a better way, right? So we use personification and it beautifies our writing as well, right? I hope you have got the little bit idea related to the personification. Now moving on towards the definition of personification. Now personification is when you give human qualities. Now you have to focus on this 2 words, human qualities, right? When we give human qualities and human characteristics to an object, animal or idea, we treat it as personification. The whole phrase is treated as personification, right? When I said that my ice cream is calling me, I wanted to say that how much I am attracted towards eating ice cream. You know, the listener can understand in a better way that the condition of mind. The listener can understand that how much I am attracted towards eating the ice cream, right? When I said that my laptop is tired, right? When I said that my laptop is tired, I wanted to say that my laptop is not working, right? my laptop is not working, and maybe it will start working after a certain period of time, right? So to explain what I was saying, I used personification, right? So this was a little bit idea related to the personification. Now we'll look towards the examples of personification, right? Here it is written, the moon smiled at the stars in the sky. Now you will say that how can moon smile? It is not a human being, right? But to make the listener understand that how the moon was in the sky, I use this phrase in my writing. I wrote that the moon smiled at the stars in the sky. It means you can get the idea that how the moon was looking. Moving on towards the next example, what it is. So you can see a flower picture, right? So this flower is looking very dull and dry. So what the example is, the flower was begging for water, right? So this phrase is being used for personification, and actually speaking, the flower cannot speak, right? You also know that flower cannot speak. In this phrase, it is being said that the flower was begging for water, right? But we know that flower cannot speak, so how the flower was begging for water, right? So here the writer wants to say that the flower was very dry, the flower was very dull, and it was in an urgent need of the water, right? So that's why the writer has used this phrase to describe the flower situation, right? So this was all about this example. Now moving on towards the poem, right? So I've taken this poem. The poem is written by Mr. John Foster, and this is the first stanza of this poem. I'll read this poem, and you will also read along with me. You can read, and you will try to figure out the phrases which are connected to the personification, right? So the poem name is It's Spring. So it starts from here. It's spring and the garden is changing its clothes, putting away its dark winter suits, its dull scarves and drab brown overcoats. Now children, if you carefully read this poem, you can understand that the whole stanza of this poem is actually connected to the personification, right? Now if you have carefully observed this second line of this stanza, the garden is changing its clothes, right? Now the garden is not a human being, right? And we human being change our clothes, right? But garden cannot change its clothes, right? But here it is a personification example, right? It's a phrase and it is a personification example. Now putting away its dark winter suits, its dull scarves and drab brown overcoats. So the whole stanza is personification poem, and the writer, the poet actually wants to say that how the garden was changing its clothes. Its clothes means the leaves, the branches, the stem of the tree or the trunk of the tree, the trees of the garden were changing, right? And it was changing because a new season has arrived, spring season has arrived, so the garden was changing its clothes, right? Its clothes means the leaves and the whole trunk and branches of the trees, right? So this poem is related to personification, right? Now moving on towards what I have written, right? I've tried to write a story related to the personification example. I will read this story and will try to figure out personification examples, personification phrases which are there in this story, right? And you can also read this story along with me, right? Now the story name is The Moon, and it starts from here. It was dark evening. I was feeling lonely. I look up in the sky and the moon was shining bright. With a smile on its face, I asked Moon, how could you smile in such a dark night? Don't you feel sad? Not at all, my dear, Moon replied. I shine bright even if it is dark everywhere. That's my duty and it keeps me glowing. I learned a lesson that day. Your inner shine is your beauty. Right? Now, if you have carefully read this story, you have come across certain phrases. Right? So, here the moon is saying something. Right? The moon is saying, I shine bright even if it is dark everywhere. Actually speaking, you also know that the moon cannot speak. Right? But here the writer is talking about the conversation between the writer and the moon. So whatever moon is saying is used as an personification example, right? So this the saying from moon, right? Moon is a non-living thing, right? And it cannot speak. So writer has used moon for personification, right? Now moving on towards the task I prepared for parents as well as teachers. So students also, you can do this task by your own, right? So parents and teachers, please motivate your ward and students to write poem and stories with personification examples, right? The story and poem should contain personification phrases, right? And by this way you can make them a better story writer or a better poem writer, right? Or a poet. So with all these, I want to say that happy learning and take care of yourself. So we will meet in the next lesson, next video. Till that time, take care of yourself and do subscribe to this channel and like this video. Share this video with your friends and family. We'll meet in the next video. Till that time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Have a great day.